Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon in Waxahachie, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of August, the 82nd episode of Grit and Good News. And as always, we're broadcasting live from our palatial studio here in Waxahachie in the shadows of the Ellis County Courthouse. And I am your co-host, Jeffrey Michael Lynch, ably handling the board is our man Sam Brooks. And to my right, resplendent in pinks and grays, is our man Scott Brooks.
That's my Range Goats shirt from the Live Golf Tournament. You know how they have teams?
Yeah.
They got colorful names, and this one's called the Range Goats. I like that.
I looked through the standings the other day. It continues to be, they are full of names.
Yeah, they are full of names, and
Yeah.
that league you can make money every which way, but Sunday and on a
Yeah.
individual basis you get, I don't know how much each one of them get when their team wins, but I don't know if I like all the music. Sonia, my wife, was asking me the other day, do I like it compared to the PGA? And I'm like, it's more frat house kind of feel at the Live, not as prim and proper as PGA.
You know how a lot of guys are having music in their golf cart all the time,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
at the local courses. I'm marshaling the other last Saturday. There are 2 or 3 carts. I'm not kidding. 2 or 3, same thing. Rap in one cart, country in the next. Both of them loud. I was like, whoa, dude. I mean,
You have to tell them turn it down.
no.
Yeah.
Because they're with their own group.
Yeah, I hear
I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
it's just competition.
Yeah,
You know?
it's crazy. Hey, Terry, thanks for being here, bud.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling well. Thank you all for being here. Scott and Jeff and Sammy, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday from noon until 1 o'clock Texas time. And it's a show really just about, average people trying to do a good thing in life and stay informed and have fun and be honest and authentic. That's all we are. We're not anything
That's
other than
us.
what you see. That's us. Sammy does a great job in getting us all through the show, so we're grateful for him. I want to tell my wife before we get started today how much I appreciate her support. She's interested, she watches, she tells me about it at night. I just appreciate her support. So thank you, sweetheart, for that. Sammy, we skipped last week. We like to Jeff started a little tradition with respect to sharing with us the numbers of well-known players that wore the number that is our number of our episodes. And you just said today is the 82nd?
82.
82. So last Thursday we missed the 81st. And so I thought, and Sammy's taking that over and doing all the research on it. So Sammy, in terms of our 81st episode, what are some 81s out there we might recognize?
Y'all would recognize Calvin Johnson,
Megatron.
You mean
for
from
the
last
line.
Thursday?
Yeah.
We're
What did I
82.
say?
We're 82 today.
Yeah, we're
so
just going
he
over.
didn't get to do it last week, and I thought, well, let's just say what were the 81s?
Okay.
81s were most notable: Calvin Johnson for the Lions, Randy Moss, and Tim Brown.
Randy
good
Moss,
ones.
Tim Brown,
good
yeah,
ones.
And
three
do you know
great receivers.
Do you know Marianne Hossa?
Yeah, he got.
Yeah.
One thing about Marion Hussa is that he lost an eye.
Mm.
Back, and it's been 10, 15, 20 years, but on a follow through swing, the guy the guy he was playing against came up and hit him in the eye, and he ended up losing his eye over the years. Yeah, Chuck says, "Happy wife, happy life."
I
Ain't
told
no
you,
doubt there.
I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more with that, dude. I told you the story in one of my poems about our soccer goalie in college. He had
Oh,
he had a glass eye. We called him Uno, and he liked it. He liked it.
Uno.
Uno.
All right, Sammy.
Yeah,
What about number 82?
82, John Stallworth.
Yeah.
Any relation to
He
Lance?
played for
He was a Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers in the heyday.
1974
Yeah.
and 1987. 4
Yep.
time Super Bowl champion. Second one is Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, you know where he played at college?
I don't know where that's
Bama.
Oh.
And then he became a great. He was an excellent NFL tight end, and then he became the GM for the Ravens.
Who was he a tight end for?
Several teams, but I can't remember.
I got Browns.
Yeah.
And then we all know Jason Witten, all know and love. He's gonna be a Hall of
Done.
Famer, right?
Yeah, he'll be a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
And then Wesley Walker.
Yeah.
And then that's it for the football. And then the one NHL one I got was Martin Straka. Straka.
Yeah.
482 and parts of his career.
Yeah.
Terry
Beasley. Terrell Owens was Terrell Owens was number 81, wasn't he? So
yeah, he was 81. He was on here.
Oh, he was on the list.
Yo.
Yeah, 81. So there you have it. Couple updates before we get into our list here of discussions. Cowboys played the other night. Of course, nobody really, I don't think. I watched the first. Oh, I got to tell about the movie too. But Sonny and I went to see a movie at 8 o'clock. Imagine that. I'm in bed normally by 8:30, but 8 o'clock. But so we watched an hour of the Cowboy game, and I mean, I didn't. It's just fun to see the game being played, but I didn't know anybody really much to speak of that played. So I don't know how you make an assessment as
Yeah,
a fan. You can't make an assessment because you really don't know who these players are and where they are on the depth chart and what the coaches are actually looking at. So it's really more for the coaches and the players
right.
than fans. Uh, but then there were some other games over the weekend. I saw the Bills played Chicago. Maybe I can't remember who they played. It wasn't Chicago. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they played the Giants, and some of the players that are notable for me that stood out. The ones that I did watch over the weekend, Jackson Dart played very well for the Giants, and Russell Wilson is their first string quarterback. I think Jackson Dart's probably going to be quarterback before the year's over. And then Sammy loves this. Shador Sanders for the Browns had a great few series. I think he played the first half, if not more. I didn't,
Yeah, he had
watch
some
it.
dots in there.
Yeah.
It
But he's in the
looked good.
doghouse in Cleveland. You know why?
Why?
Off-field activity.
Well, he's
Mm,
going to have to get
mm,
himself
mm.
together. But
Shador.
2 speeding tickets.
uh,
One was like a 90 and a 60, and one was like 100 and a
I don't know why
70
these
or something
players.
like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
weird.
get that you're living high on the hog and you got your fancy, Lamborghini, but holy cow,
He
you're
was
gonna
very
be
contrite. Oh,
you're yeah,
I'm learning from this.
yeah. Henry Ruggs of the Cowboys, I mean of the Cowboys, of the Obama that went on to the Raiders sits in prison now because of stupid stuff
Mhm.
like that. So we got the Cowboys. They play again this week. They play who do they play? The Ravens. Oh yeah, Saturday night here in Dallas. And then Rangers. I swear. It was just this time last week where I'm saying they're doing what they did in 2023. They're doing it again. They're on a roll, playing well. Then they get swept by the Phillies. But last night's
Did
game
you
was
see their
awesome.
comeback?
Yeah, they came back. They were down 6-1 last night against the Diamondbacks. I
Mm,
don't know why this thing keeps flashing, Sammy. We got to figure this out. But
I don't know.
the Diamondbacks, they came back and won in the bottom of the 10th.
Jake
Uh,
Berger,
yeah, Berger hit a
um,
a single, and then
Yeles,
Hit a dinger
Mm-hmm.
to tie it in the bottom of the ninth. Have you seen these two, Berger and Yeles? Yeles is they're
They're
both well.
are
Yeles
they
is tall.
platooning at first base?
I don't know. I think Yeles is the DH,
I
but
don't know.
I
Okay.
mean, they're big. I mean, like
Barrel
you call them
chested.
everything but late to dinner
Barrel
big.
chested, yeah.
So anyway, and then we've got yesterday. I got a call or a text early. I forget what time it was, maybe mid morning from a dear friend. Many of you would know, but I don't want to say who it is. It said, "Hey, a plane just crash landed right here outside the hospital," and I said, "Whoa." Send me pictures if you got them. And sure enough, he sent over some pictures, and we sent
Our Baylor Hospital here.
we sent a photographer out there eventually. But by then, uh, it was a plane in a little single engine plane out in a field, a little Cessna, I think. But yeah, the story is, and we've validated it. We're still working on that, but that he took off from Midway Airport. I think it's a single engine plane, little plane, and his engine seized, and he had to land it, and he landed in a field right out there by Better Scott and White. So we had pictures posted yesterday of it sitting out in the field, and the guy didn't get hurt. Obviously, couldn't. I don't think he put up his landing gear, but I mean, plane just sitting out there. So
Yeah, I
that's
use the Baylor Pharmacy, and it's in that little side medical
yeah,
building, and I park
that
in that
field.
lot, and there's just
Use that
I
field.
know right where that
That's
field
where
is.
it was.
Yeah.
So there you have it on that. So another update on the things that are going on in Austin. I swear, just put a tent over it and call it a circus, because the stuff going on in Austin at our expense, I might add, the voters' expense, citizen expense, is just ridiculous. These and pardon me for the Democrats out there who wonder why group them all together, and I don't. I mean, there are great Democrats, people I like that are Democrats. So I'm not grouping everybody together. Just like when Democrats call people Nazis. They can't be
And
talking about
by what's
us. We're not
happening in
Nazis.
Austin, you mean what's happening
With the
not in Austin.
Well, yeah, what's happening in Austin is what's happening not in Austin
Right.
because these Dems left. They've been up there now going on. I think this is their second week. And they've gone to Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York, the worst gerrymandering states in the nation, to protest the legal gerrymandering that's going on in Texas, here in Texas. So a couple updates there. This is going to reach. It's going to reach a crest in terms of they got to come back at some point. And word is that Beto O'Rourke, I'm gonna play a video here in just a minute, is covering their expenses because they're staying in hotels. They got to eat. They got to do things.
Well, they're all dressed up
Yeah,
in their suits
their
for the news
Sunday best.
conferences, like they're doing
Yeah,
something.
and Gene Wu, who's got the mental capacity of a I don't know a weed, is leading the charge. Uh, but things something's got to the business of Texas has to be done. And if not enough people are here on the redistricting, whether it's redistricting or any other issue that needs to be resolved or voted on or whatever, if you take off and there's not a quorum for that, there's not a quorum for anything. So
Right.
no business can be done.
Including the flood relief. And Gene Wu said yesterday from Chicago that if we will take care of the people of Texas first. He was quoting Greg Abbott. If Greg Abbott was going to make the flood bills the top priority, they would come back. But the flood bills that are on the docket are a mass fatality training program for justice of the peace, address first responders communications, um, a fund for broadband access response, disaster and emergency in Riverside Campground development disaster plans. All of these things are important for the future, but they aren't doing anything for the people
Yeah,
who've been hurt. So
the
I don't know why Gene's getting in a dither about that because it's not really the essence
yeah,
of what we
this
need.
comeback, as I wrote in a column, I guess it would have been this past Monday, or yesterday or on Friday. Just come back and face the music. Do your job, and if you lose, you lose. I mean, Sammy, I don't know if you have what Jeff provided you in terms of those pictures to show. If you put up on the screen, and Jeff has provided these examples of what is currently, which would be the screen on the left.
The one that looks like a jumble with a salamander leading
Yeah,
over to
so
Fort
it's
Worth.
literally when you look at that, you would say if you put a rock on a table and you hit it with a hammer, that's what it would look like to me. That's what it could look like. Just splintered all up. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place.
And Jasmine Crockett's district rolling all the
Yeah.
way up, touching up to
So you
Love
see number
Field.
30, we got what a Crockett, who Trump's right. She's low IQ, plays the ghetto card, but she's supposedly representing people who she'd be the last person on the list of them just like if it were
Yeah,
us, we wouldn't want her representing us. So if you take the diagram of the picture on the left, the map on the left, that's what Texas currently looks like with respect to North Dallas or DFW. If you look at the one on the right, that's what is being proposed by those in
manageable,
Austin.
sensible.
Yeah, so you combine all of what you see on the left down into basically two districts on the right. Makes sense to me.
So all those pinkish areas around there are the ones that are sucking up the excess, and all those pinkish areas around there are the Republican areas. If you look back, on the left-hand side, there was a 24 over there on the left. There still is a 24. It's bigger. You look over there at 32. It's all jumbled up here. Now it's mostly
Yeah,
it all the jumble goes away, and these things look so much like the Chicago map, so much like the Massachusetts map. And gerrymandering has been around forever. We've been through it before
yeah.
since 1812, and it's a legal process.
It's a legal process, not
A
illegal.
legal.
It's a legal process, and what you see on the left is what the Democrats ended up with at some point in recent history, and it's just remained. And now with Trump in office, uh, it's about getting this stuff straight. Let me give you these stats if you want to understand why it's so egregious for these Democrats in Texas to flee to other states to hide from, protest, whatever you want, redistricting, gerrymandering. Get a load of this. So in 2024 presidential results, I want to share with you what the public in those states, what the results were for Republican votes. So of all the voters in the states I'm going to mention, I'm going to give you the percentage that voted Republican, and then I'm going to tell you how many representatives they have in their legislature. Okay. And then you tell me, and not that you disagree with what we're talking about here, but you tell me why any one of these Democrats would say what's happening in Texas is somehow unfair, particularly when they hear what's going on in these other states. So with the state of New Mexico, 46% of the vote went GOP, went Republican in the state of New Mexico in 2024. You know how many what the percentage is of GOP seats? 0. In the state of Connecticut, 42% of the populace voted Republican. You know how many seats they have in their legislature? 0. In the state of Massachusetts, 36% of the vote went Republican. You know how many they have? 0. In the state of New York, 44% of the vote went Republican. There are 27% of the total seats in their New York State legislature are 27% are Republicans. So 44% of the people voted for Republicans. They are underrepresented because of just 27% of the seats in the legislature being Republican. And in California, where we're seeing Newsom or Newsom run his mouth about, oh well, let Texas do what Texas is going to do, and then we'll even it out by making ours even worse. It's already this way in California. 38% of the populace or the registered voters vote Republican. 17% of California's state legislature are Republicans. So there you have it. 46-0 in New Mexico, 42-0 in Connecticut, 35-0 in Massachusetts, 44-27 in New York, and 36-17 in California. Sam, if you can jump back over there, I want you to show our friend Beto O'Rourke. Beto is now, I swear the guy's like whack-a-mole. He won't go away. He's lost everything there is to lose, and he still keeps running his mouth. And this is him talking about the redistricting and all that he thinks is going on. This is what Beto had to say over the weekend in Fort Worth. You got it, Sam? All right,
He's
let's
in
play
Fort
it.
Worth a lot lately.
Play it, Sam.
Bending the knee. And so this guy thinks, Donald Trump, that he's absolutely unstoppable. He really believes that these knee benders tell him that he is. And so he comes to our state to grab even more power in the form of these 5 congressional districts, including Mark VC's right here. He thinks that we are going to take it right here, but he doesn't understand in Texas, our knees do not bend.
Notice how he says that as his knees are bending.
That doesn't work here. We're going to fight these motherfuckers for as long as it
Pardon the
takes
language.
with everything we've got.
Thank you.
We're never
Now I
giving
really
in.
know you
We're
mean it
never
because of
giving
the
up.
AMF.
Yeah, so when
Oh.
we've talked about dark woke before, there's another example of it.
Right. They're
Beto
making it-
O'Rourke doesn't have to use that kind of language to make his point yet, because of just going extreme, going off the rails. He does, and so does Crockett. So do a lot of others.
Let me give a little summary here, though.
Yeah.
So we established in previous episodes, not only is it legal, there were constitutional challenges that went from things that happened in 16 in Maryland and one of the Carolinas that the Supreme Court said it was fine. Okay. So that's all well and good. But how would Donald Trump ever think that if he encourages this to happen in Texas, that other states won't do the same thing in retribution, and then it's a wash and it's a whole much ado about nothing, and there's nothing gained in the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to say to yourself, well, Trump looks at the maps and says, we're getting this straight. We're getting it straight, just like he's doing in all these other things that he's working on. So we're getting it straight. And somebody on his to your point, somebody on his staff or administration says, well, we're going to do all this work, but these clowns in California, in other places, are just going to gerrymander theirs because they've got Democratic.
Right.
But
So why?
so what? So what? All we can do is what we can do that's right. And if I'm a head of a business and I look, or let's just say this, we're we got a football team, all right? We own a football team. And we have what we think is a great coach, because our great coach noticed that when he came on board that our special teams was the best in the league, but our defense sucked. And he said, you know what? That's great for our special teams, but our defense cannot suck. So I'm going to lose some ability to keep my special teams intact because I got to use some of those resources and money to build our defense. So he's got to give on one hand to get. And I think Trump is saying, look, in these states that can offset us, you guys on our team in these states, go and do what Texas has done, do what other states or Alabama, other states where it's strong Republican. So I think Trump is just saying, look, we can't be at the mercy of this anymore. We got to do
Again,
it.
you know what?
But
I'll stay with what I said because here's the deal: if every state starts doing that, and so then the Democrats do it, and then the Republicans come back.
yeah,
If you go back to the electoral map, the Democrats won a lot more states.
mhm.
So I think you know what? We got enough things to worry about.
Yeah.
Let's not make this a
I
priority.
would say
It seems senseless fluff to
I
me.
would argue back that this is a high priority because we're getting the crap beat out of us on districting in this country, and no president from on the right has ever said enough is enough. Now, if the left wants to keep going and keep going and keep going, one, they got to have the guts to do it. Newsom can say whatever he wants to, but he's got to have the guts to say, okay, we're going to even gerrymander this worse in terms of for the Republicans. He's got to have the will to do it. He's got to have the power to do it. He's got to have the fortitude and the ability to do it. It takes. I admire Abbott in the sense
Yeah,
that
but you know what? You're never gonna.
it takes some smarts.
You only catch up in states where you have the legislative control. They're never going to get caught up in Massachusetts. They're never going to get caught up
Yeah,
in Illinois and
I agree. But
whatever.
what do you say? You say, okay, well, we'll just sit here and not. If you and I looked at this and we said, well, we got to have a governor that gets this straight. Regardless of what happens in other states, we got to get this straight. We got to get Texas straight. We can't have people like Crockett.
You get it straight in when the next census gets. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm tired of wasting my breath and energy on it.
Yeah,
I
but
think we're
10
devoting too
years from
much.
now, when we're talking about this, you're going to say, we're unless we do it, we're going to say we're still in the same boat.
Okay, well then we'll go back to the research I did. We talked about this before. If traditionally it happens after the census is taken,
Mm-hmm.
and I went back in 2021, Abbott was the governor. In 2021, Republicans controlled the legislature. So this map that they want to redistrict is one that they approved back then.
I'm
So
with you.
so it's even
I'm
it's
with
even
you.
it's even
They
pissier.
didn't. They had the same president they have now. Well, not in 2021. They had a Democratic administration.
It wasn't
But now Trump has said, well, there's a phone call or a meeting or what have you. Get this straight. Period. All right, there you have it. All right. So with that said, let me make sure yeah. All right, let's talk about Trump in Washington, D.C. So pardon the personal reference here, but I lived in Washington, D.C. Back in the early 2000s. I loved the city. I loved it. I lived in Pentagon. I lived in Crystal City, which is one stop on the metro, because that's how you get around in Washington, D.C. One metro stop from the Pentagon. So I would get on in downtown D.C. on 15th and K, which is where our office was. If you think of 15th and K, the White House sits on 16th Street, 1600 Pennsylvania. It's literally, I could be there in 5 minutes from my office by walking. The allure, I mean, I was single at the time, and so I didn't have, to be fighting traffic, go to ball games, and all sorts of things that dads do. So I loved it. And I don't ever remember, I mean, there was crime, obviously, but living right there, working right there, if I went and did things, it was always in DC. Uh, I don't ever remember crime being on my mind. But that was 20 years ago. So now we see what's happening in Washington, D.C., which has happened in other cities. And Trump has said, just like he has with the redistricting, I've had enough. I've
Yeah.
had enough. We're not going to have the nation's capital, which is the face of the nation, look and be and uh, present such risk to those that either live here and or visit. So he said, how are we going to address it? We're gonna manage it from the National Guard, and if he has to federalize the police department in DC, then he's going to do that. But the first step now is that, as he's announced, I'll just read you the official thing here. This is from yesterday. President Donald Trump announced yesterday that he is activating approximately 800 National Guard troops and taking over the Metropolitan Police Department to tackle crime in D.C. Trump also said that he would federalize the Metropolitan Police Department in D.C. to respond to crime, placing it under the authority of the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said that Secretary of the Army Dan Driscoll will operationalize the D.C. National Guard and signaled that more National Guard troops could be roped into the deployment down the line.
Roped into.
Yeah, that's what the writer said. You will quote, this is Hegseth, believe it's Hegseth. You will see them being the National Guard, into the streets of Washington in the coming week, Hegseth said. At your direction as well, sir, speaking to the president, there are other units we are prepared to bring in, other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. So no more games, to the extent that they can stop it, are going to be played. It's not like he did with the border, right? Trump floated the idea of taking over Washington's MPD, the police department, and utilizing the National Guard. And he's gotten some pushback for sure, namely from the mayor of Washington, D.C. So, well, if you're the
Yeah,
mayor,
but I heard the mayor, and she made some comments that were basically saying he has the right to do this, and that's what's going to happen. I didn't think she was pushing very
I
hard.
don't think she's pushing as hard as what some other wacko mayors
Yeah.
might do. But here's what's being floated by the Metropolitan Police Department, okay, in terms of crime stats. All right, get a load of this. Meanwhile, crime in Washington is on the decline. Violent crime is down 26% this year in comparison to the same time frame in 2024, according to the police department. Likewise, assaults with a dangerous weapon are down 20%, and homicides are down by 12%. Washington's Mayor Muriel Bowser challenged Trump's description of the city during an interview with MSNBC on Sunday and voiced concerns about the possibility of activating the National Guard. Any comparison to a war-torn country is hyperbolic and false. So there's the pushback. She's saying that
There's the
you're
pushback,
giving these.
and if those numbers are true, I guess you can just say this: they're down from crappier to crappy.
Yeah, well,
Right.
what I didn't share with you is the fine print says these are down because
Of
these
different reporting
that
packages.
plus the so-called steps that we've taken to get it under control. On the other hand, I mean, y'all, those are numbers. Anybody can present numbers, and I'm going to share with you some numbers coming out of the administration that says that it's the opposite. But I say, listen to the people of the district.
Right.
What are they saying? But here are the statistics as based on what Trump is doing. He's basing his actions on these statistics. In 2024, Washington, D.C. saw a homicide rate of 27.3 per 100,000 residents. That was the fourth highest homicide rate in the country, nearly 6 times higher than New York City, and also higher than Atlanta, Chicago, and Compton in LA. If Washington, D.C. was a state, it would have the highest homicide rate of any state in the nation. In 2012, the homicide rate in Washington, D.C. was just 13.9%. I'm sorry, 13.9 people per 100,000. residents. Washington, D.C.'s murder rate is roughly 3 times higher than that of, listen to this. Samuel got a kick out of this too. Washington, D.C.'s murder rate is roughly 3 times higher than that of Islamabad in Pakistan and 18 times higher than that of communist-run Havana, Cuba. The number of juveniles arrested in Washington, D.C. has gone up each year since
Well,
2020.
they got them clamped down pretty tight with the commies in Havana.
Well, maybe.
So that's what we need to do is communism, and we all go away.
Well,
huh?
maybe, yeah. There were 29,000 crimes reported in Washington, D.C. last year, including 3,400 violent offenses, 1,026 assaults with a dangerous weapon, 2,000 robberies, and 5,100 motor vehicle thefts. Listen to this. And so far in 2025, there have already been nearly 1,600 violent crimes, nearly 16,000 total crimes. There have been nearly 100 homicides, including the fatal shootings of innocent civilians like 3-year-old Honesty Cheadle and 21-year-old Capitol Hill intern Eric, I can't say his last name, Jackum. Theft is 3 times the national average. Carjackings increased 547% between 2018 and 2023. And in 2024, there were triple the number of carjackings compared to 2018. Metro Police Department leaders are allegedly cooking the books to make crime statistics appear more favorable. More than half of all violent crime in the U.S. goes unreported in the first place. So that's what Trump is using to base his actions on. And I will say that in the months to come, just like we've seen on the border, where Trump can legitimately say we had nobody, 0 people try to come into this, and our southern border try to come into this country illegally. Trump's going to say these are the statistics in Washington, D.C., and I think we're going to see a city that's cleaned up. So
There you have it.
we shall see.
We shall overcome.
Anything else on Trump in Washington, D.C.?
No, but
what?
Concerning, and from the school of Donald Trump overreach, in the school of Donald Trump having to have his fingers in every single thing, he was making comments that we could well start doing this in other cities across the country, and I'm thinking, do we want to turn our whole urban world into police states?
No, we don't.
No.
And again, I will tell you, if we go back to our premise about Trump, and that is Trump knows exactly what he's doing, why he's doing it, what he's saying, and why he's saying it every time he says something. So whether it's
Now,
I
Scott,
might
my friend,
run in 2028, Jeff, I might run in 2028. I'm Trump. I might run. He knows it's going to get you all Twitter pated, as they might say. Just like when he says, "Well, we might take over other cities." He knows exactly what the mayors in those cities are going to say, what the folks are going to say, what the Dems are going to say, what Adam Shifty Shift and all, as he used to be called, or still is, will say. He knows exactly what he's doing.
we read this last week. Never is never enough. This applies to a lot of stuff, but since never isn't forever, frankly, I say whatever. Never's twin is always. It has no shades of gray. It's a term of definitiveness that leads to argumentativeness. All and none are also troublesome. We can't say he's always.
I don't say. I'm not saying always.
You said.
Well, no, I think he knows. He doesn't.
You said he always knows.
He doesn't say much. Always. He doesn't say much that he doesn't know is going to cause some reaction. Right. Man lives for it.
I know.
And he's provocative. And what the difference between Trump and those, there are a lot of provocative people out there, particularly in politics.
Provocative can be good.
Compelling, provocative, manipulative, whatever you want to call it. But the difference between Trump, if I'm Dr. Phil, the difference between Trump and all the others, or a lot of the others, is that Trump is successful with it. He's successful, and so I'm not amused, meaning I'm not flippant about it, and I don't just slough off what he's doing in terms of those of my friends that are on the other side of the aisle, how it impacts them. But I do believe that Trump has a method to his madness. So when he takes over Washington, D.C., he's saying, "Look, I have the power to do this," and he can then go to New York City and say, "Hey, Mom Donnie, you want to play communist guy in mayor in New York City? Watch this." So
he got my vote.
Yeah.
If they had an election again today, he'd get my vote.
Yeah. So,
but
He's going to ask for it in 2028.
But I'm not looking for him in 28.
No, he's that man is he's eventually gonna be done.
Play some golf.
All right, yeah. Did you see him the other day? He made about it was a classic. I think I don't know if he was overseas, but he was on his course.
You
One of
make
them,
that long.
that
I
long
thought I
putt.
thought I saw the headline said, no, hole in one, but then I saw a shot and it was an eagle from a fairway.
Oh no, this was a putt. It was about a 12, 15 footer.
Yeah.
Wherever he was, it was chilly because he had on a coat, and he putted it and he made it, and he just turned around and dropped the club. No, he just dropped the club and walked off. Cracks me
Classic.
up.
Classic.
Chuck says if our cities like Chicago can't take control over the crimes and murders, I think it's okay for president to step in. At some point, Obama. The thing about Trump and Obama, the difference for me is that Obama thrived on chaos because it positioned him in his mind in a stronger way. Trump thrives on it because he likes being able to say, look what we've achieved. You know, a long time, I'll say this and then we'll move to our next topic. The unions, having sat on labor relations boards up in the Northeast for newspapers that I worked for, I learned that unions came about in this country because those who were pro-union wanted to have representation for employees and for labor, knew that if they created a conflict between management and employees, they created a conflict, whether it was valid or invalid. If it was a perceived conflict, that a third party could walk in and say, I'm here to save the day. And so unions came about. Unions, they in essence, to get started, planted conflict, and then came in and said, we're the ones to resolve it. I think Obama is that kind of guy. Obama says, you know what? I'm going to keep the fires burning in such that I'm able to come in and be the savior. There's a syndrome that is associated with that. But
Sure.
I think Trump says, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be my bully. I'm going to be Mr. King of the Hill. But at the end of the day, it's results that I'm all thrilled with. I think it's the difference between two presidents that's very stark. All right, speaking of Trump, this Friday at I think it's around 1:00.
Did we ever get this city where it's happening?
Yes.
Is it out on
Maybe
the
one of our readers will know.
on the
Or
Aleutian
viewers.
Islands
No,
where my
it's
dad was
it's
serviced?
it's up
Stationed?
up away from the main. I think it's up in that strip was Russia's. I think.
Okay, that's the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that far up, but it's.
Okay.
I did see where it was. It's not Juneau, I don't think. But anyway, at roughly 1:00 or so Alaskan time, which I don't even know what Alaska time is on.
It's
Something.
past. It's
I don't even know what time it is. Well, Sammy, see on your phone on your clock, say Anchorage, and tell us what time it is right now. So on this Friday,
take Juneau. It's farther west.
so Juneau, I'm sorry, this Friday, Trump, Juneau, Juneau,
Alaska.
Alaska. Just I want to know what time it is there right now. So it's what 12:38. Yeah. Okay, so it's 3 hours back. So at 4:00 our time on Friday, Trump and Putin will be sitting down in Alaska to discuss ending this war between Ukraine and Russia. And what's interesting, your take on do you like what you're hearing about them sitting down? Do you think that's what it's going to take to get this 3-year or 4-year war over? Last night I was listening to a program and it talked about how over 1 million human beings have been killed in this conflict, and that thousands are killed every single day as we do this show. There are men, mostly men, are being killed in combat, and it's so far away from us that we're kind of numb to it. But when you think about 1 million people have been killed, over 1 million people have been killed, and what has been achieved? Nothing has been achieved. Russia has a little bit more land. It took land in Crimea, which is the closest to it to the west.
Completely separate.
Yeah.
10 or 12 years, 12, 15 years ago.
Well, in this war,
Yeah.
they've gotten a bit more land
Hmm.
that wasn't there.
Oh, right. No doubt. Yeah.
So when you think about, well, what's been achieved, if you lose 1 million people, then there's nothing worth 1 million lives. But in war, you want to be able to say, well, we won something. Well, they didn't win much of anything. It's still going. So your thoughts, and I'd like a perspective of Sammy as a younger man, your thoughts on this whole thing. Good idea, bad idea?
Well, I think it's a good idea. Here's a concern to me. If it's about Ukraine and Zelensky's not there, why isn't he there? You know why?
I don't know why.
I
I
wasn't
mean, I might have a
told.
hunch.
I heard
Yeah,
Trump wanted him there.
Putin
Putin
doesn't.
didn't.
Yeah,
Boom, boom, boom. What do you call that? Advantage Putin.
yeah.
Advantage Putin. As for the land that Russia now controls that was once Russian land, a large amount of that, the majority of that, is full of native Russian speaking people.
Yeah.
And number three, that was at one time Russian land completely, all of it. But on the other hand, all of those, so they became part of the USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. They were part of the Soviet Union.
Right.
But before there was ever a Soviet Union,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there was Russia,
Yeah.
the Great Russia.
Yeah.
And back then, it was part of that.
Right.
It was like a state of Russia. So
Yeah.
it's I I think it's good that we're having it. I think Vladimir should be there.
Yeah, I would agree that Vladimir should be there. I think the reason, assuming that you and we are correct about why he isn't scheduled to be there, although I don't think the case for him to be there has been given up. I think there's still a desire. Trump even said, I think that he wants to have Zelensky there. I don't know if you've ever been in these situations. I know I have in business, especially, even personally probably, but to resolve a conflict that started, say, with me and somebody else, that there's a third party involved that can help resolve or move forward the conflict. My animosity towards the person that I had the conflict with may be so strong that I will say, look, I'll sit down and we'll get this resolved, but I do not want that clown there because I can't stand it. I don't want him there. He gets in the way. He's not going to help us get this resolved. I will business in negotiations that happen sometimes where you'll say the person that you believe has stalled the negotiations or made it worse, you'll say, I don't want them there. We can get this done, me and you. Now, a lot of businesses, CEOs, business presidents, managers, whatever, will say, the only person I'm going to deal with is the person at the top. So if you want me to buy an ad schedule or be a partner of yours, then at our level, we're going to work that out. Now, Zelensky's at their level in terms of the position he holds in his own country. But my guess is that Putin and Zelensky hate each other so viciously. Zelensky's willing to go because Zelensky knows he's going to, despite his actions with Trump, that Trump is going to support ending this war.
Right.
Putin hates Zelensky and doesn't want Zelensky to get any recognition for this. I think he just says, that little dude, it's good. Me and you, Trump, are going to resolve this.
Chuck says Putin's going to try to
Yeah,
buy Alaska back.
Yeah, imagine
Thanks,
that.
Chuck.
But so I'm excited about seeing what happens here.
I am too.
I think Trump is now, he had the meeting in the White House in the Oval Office, I think the other day when he had the two, Azerbaijan and another Middle East country, they resolved their conflict. Armenia. They resolved their conflict, a handshake, and you saw Trump put his hands on both of theirs. He's done that in other recent
Well, I heard
countries.
that interview. I was driving; it was on Fox, and it sounded like kumbaya around the campfire. And then both of those guys are putting a big pitch on for Trump for
a Nobel Peace
Prize.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think if Trump works and gets this resolved, he would be obvious for Nobel Peace Prize. All right. So there you have it. All right. This is going to be a fun little segment. We only have a few minutes, so let's do. Oh, Sammy, I didn't ask you about Trump and Putin. What do you think?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You sit down and talk. I do have a question. Is JD with them when they do those? No.
He could very well be on the trip. I doubt he's on the trip.
I'll
The
tell you who'll
president.
be on his right hand sleeve is Karen Levitch. You
Yeah,
don't ever
love it.
see him without her anymore.
Yeah, that's his confidant. They never travel together because the rule of thumb, just like with
Oh yeah, you don't
businesses.
put all the eggs in the basket.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I doubt that he will be there. Zelensky needs to be there. I agree with you, Chuck, for sure. All right, so let's talk some football. I told y'all August 30th, big day, LSU, Ohio State, followed by Bama, Florida State, followed by
No,
LSU, Clemson.
you said LSU Ohio State. Did he?
Oh, I meant Texas,
Texas
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State. So we got the number 1 seed versus the number 3 seed on the week 1
Yeah,
college football.
yeah. So
And that means you got the SEC against the Big Ten.
yeah, SEC, Big Ten, and then followed in the afternoon Bama and Florida State, which would be the SEC, ACC, and then at night is LSU, Clemson, which is another SEC, ACC. So here the Associated Press came out with its top 25 yesterday, and let's just say that let's read off the top 10. Texas, Penn State, which got 23 votes compared to Texas is 25. Ohio State number 3, Clemson number 4, Georgia 5, Notre Dame 6,
Independent.
Oregon 7, Alabama 8. That's a joke. LSU 9 and Miami 10. So if we said, Sammy, the top 5, you can either agree with this or rearrange it. Would you rearrange it?
I would rearrange it.
All right. Who would be 1? No, wait. Who would be 5?
5 would be Penn State.
Okay. 4,
Would be Georgia,
3,
Clemson,
2,
Ohio State,
1.
Texas.
I didn't hear anything about Alabama.
Bama,
All right.
we didn't make the
all right,
playoffs, Scott.
Enjoy having
We did not make the
having
playoffs.
Enjoy having a tomato sandwich. All right, Jeffrey, what do you got number 5? Would you keep this the way it is?
I wouldn't.
All right, what would you have 5?
I would just throw them in. No, I'm not a close follower of the college game. I do know this. I did a little statistical analysis, and all the things about what's happening with the conferences and the shuffles in the Southeast Conference and the Big Ten having more clout and stuff. So we have a total of 16 of 25 are in the SEC or the Big Ten, and that breaks down to 10 in the SEC and the 6 in the Big Ten. And let's forget about, if you're talking about the reshuffle, let's forget about number 10, Miami. We've got 8 of 9 are all in one of those, with the exception of the mother of our Lord's University, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The great independent.
Yeah. It's
So
interesting.
no,
isn't it?
I wouldn't change.
All right. Well, here's a couple
wouldn't
things.
change a
Not
thing.
that you asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My top 5 would be. I'm going to start with. No, I'll start with 5. I would move Ohio State out of the top 5.
Why? They
Yeah.
just won.
It doesn't matter. They lost their quarterback that
Championship.
did it. So I'd move Ohio State out of there, and I would replace them with Notre Dame, and then I would move Georgia out of the top 5 and put in Alabama, and the rest I would leave the same. So what I would have is, I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'd reshuffle this. It would be, who did I say I would replace? Oh, so Notre Dame, I would have Clemson at 5. Oh no, Ohio State at 5. I'll leave them in the top 5. Ohio State at 5, Penn State at 4, Clemson at 3, Notre Dame at 2,
Alabama.
and Alabama at 1.
However, I will say this: who gives a rat's rear end? Let them play games that will shuffle itself out on its own.
Yeah, I
It
know,
doesn't
but it's
matter
fun
at
to
all.
do this.
They need to base it off last season. I don't care
No, you
who
don't.
leaves or
Last
stays.
season, we don't have Jalen Milroe. Are we going to be better or worse?
We got Ty Simpson.
Are we going to be better or worse?
We could be around the
Are
same.
we going to be better or worse this year with a quarterback change than better or worse? One of the two.
Worse.
You're just saying
Okay,
it to
hey,
make me mad.
you guys who are the football pro college experts, help me on this. Where's my Syracuse? We were ranked
Well, this
last
ain't the
year.
top 400, so they're not in.
They were in the top 25
My dad
last
is
year.
100% biased,
They
Chuck.
were in the top 20.
Alabama didn't
So
make the
did
playoffs.
they lose a lot of? Did they have portals?
They must have.
Did they graduate?
They must have.
You're not
They
following it?
must have.
Okay. What do you know?
But I'm gonna
Well,
tell you
the
right
What I
now.
thought you loved their quarterback. Did he go?
Who?
Syrac-
Syracuse.
yeah.
I like Syracuse in
Is
total. I guess. Yeah, I think so.
is their quarterback still with
Gone.
them?
No, I think he went.
I don't
But
know.
In the
but
draft?
whenever you
I don't-
say
yeah, I
whenever
don't
you
know.
say, well, what were they last year? Well, Ohio State was number one in the country last year. Why don't you have number one this year?
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, well, no, no.
Y'all can't
No.
see Sammy, but Sammy when I got him, which is almost 99% of the time, he just sits there like he saw, the devil. Bama at
Bama didn't
3.
make.
Oh,
I
come on,
love
Terry.
Bama. They didn't make the playoffs.
It's because of the
We had a
quarterback.
good quarterback.
No,
Jalen
we
Milroe is
didn't.
a good
No, we didn't.
quarterback.
Jalen Milroe, don't piss me off, Sammy.
He went
Jalen
in the
Milroe
draft.
called it in.
What's next on the
Oh
schedule?
All
my
right, next.
As always.
Oh yeah. We got our
gosh.
poem. So all yours, Jeffrey.
Oh, so this is the first week in a long time. What number did I tell you, Sam? It's 77. We've done so much local politics lately. We haven't hardly done any Waxahachie.
Mm-mm.
And I look back and we did do my beloved Waxahachie poem one time in October when we had no audience. So I think it's time to do it again.
Okay.
It's
Go
one of
for it.
one of the few I almost have memorized, and it goes something like this. Waxahachie is a name hard to pronounce, and on every syllable, a mistake will likely bounce. The wax is spoken walks if you say it right, but it's wax to the lax. They've no linguistic might. Hatchie rhymes with Apache,
Oh yeah.
which has never been hard to say. But put it all together, and folks simply lose their way. When you put it all together, my such a lovely sound. But say it all completely, and mistakes will abound. But errors are fine, even from the most refined, as we can tell real soon if you're singing our tune. It's a gingerbread town where good morals abound. It's a gingerbread city, her crepe myrtles, oh so pretty. And if you butcher our name, we'll still love you just the
Same.
same. Thank you.
That's a great poem, and you've almost got it all totally memorized.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. Very good poem. Love it.
Did you see that, Dad?
I see Chuck's.
Did you see that? He sided
I
with
have
me.
to side with Sammy. Well, sorry,
Okay.
Chuck. You'll learn the hard way. Everybody else that sides with Sammy's learn the hard way. And Terry, I hate to tell you, I don't know. I don't think we don't play Texas this year, but if we did, we would ruin Arch.
And Sammy, just for fun, my I don't care now leans to you.
Your I don't care.
Yeah.
What of the?
Well, I didn't care. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like really let them
You should have
play
put
some
SMU.
ball.
Could put SMU.
I
up
mean, I
there.
hope SMU's in the top 10. I think they're
Which
too
one
low
of
right
you
now.
put Notre Dame at 2? Was that you?
That was him.
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
And he put Bama at 1.
Them at
so.
1, Notre Dame at 2. You heard it here.
Ty Simpson. I love Ty. He's gonna be
Okay,
good.
yeah,
I'm
he is going to be
excited.
great. 5-star quarterback.
All right.
All right, let's do our day in history.
Here we go. Andrew Johnson, President Andrew Johnson, sparked a move to impeach him
Andrew Johnson, 1802.
as he defied Congress by
Oh.
suspending Secretary of War Edwin M. Stanton, with whom he had clashed over Republican Reconstruction policies.
There you go.
Johnson was acquitted by the Senate. That ought to help you.
1802.
1822. 1914.
We could do this without your grimacing.
Reconstruction. When do we have
I
Reconstruction?
have no idea.
After the Civil War.
Oh, I meant 1872.
Well, no, it's 1867. You already lost.
Oh.
Okay.
Dang.
Fighting in the Spanish-American War.
Oh.
I'll grimace if I have to. Came to an end.
Jeff, y'all can't see Jeff. Well, you can see Jeff. He's like
Um,
contorting his face when we give answers.
What was the last one?
1860 something.
67.
All right, what's this? Say again.
Fighting in the Spanish-American War came to an end.
1886.
1888.
1898. That was a tag along. That doesn't
Oh,
always work for you.
lost that
Sam.
one too.
This one threw me off. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the Indianapolis 500, first opened. Be careful.
I can't.
Not 1908.
1945.
1909.
Yes.
Way to go,
I'm
Sam.
going, didn't we invent cars in like 07 and all of a sudden we got a
Yeah,
speedway?
that's crazy.
Wow.
Don't mess with my
That is
racing
crazy.
knowledge. I got racing
1888, Chuck
knowledge.
said.
The Soviet Union conducted a secret test of the hydrogen bomb. How secret can you be with a hydrogen bomb test?
Yeah, really. Shh, don't tell anybody we're going to blow this thing up.
1927.
1930.
53.
Man, I'm taking it hard today.
Ah,
I'm going to give you guys a bonus.
Okay.
Rita didn't give me this opportunity.
All right.
IBM, sometimes called itty bitty machines,
Yeah.
stands for.
International Business Machine.
he said it too quick.
He did. You can
I
have
was
the,
gonna say that.
you can have
Well,
the bonus too.
wait. What was it? Okay.
Say it again.
International. I don't know.
He doesn't-
Dang.
He doesn't know.
Also
right.
nicknamed Big Blue.
What's the question?
IBM introduced its first personal computer,
Ooh.
the model 5150, at a press conference in New York.
1955.
You're close, I think. 1960.
1981.
Wow.
I was watching Mad Men with Sonia, and I thought they had a.
Here we go.
I'm 1-5.
Fossil collector Sue Hendrickson found one of the largest and best preserved Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know, all the kids can name every.
Yeah.
I can't name. I mean, I've heard of a few. I couldn't tell you a Tyrannosaurus
That's the only one I
Rex.
would know.
I wouldn't even know which one he was. I wouldn't. Largest ever skeleton, largest ever discovered, nicknamed Sue after Hendrickson, the lady who found him. The skeleton is now on display at Chicago's Field Museum.
1993.
1998.
1990. Sam's in. You missed it.
Let's
Ooh,
go.
this may be my
Let's go.
worst.
A driver sped into a crowd of people peacefully protesting a white nationalist rally in the Virginia college town of Charlottesville, killing 32-year-old Heather Heyer and injuring more than a dozen others. The attacker, James Alex Fields, was sentenced to life in prison on 29 federal hate crime charges and life plus.
That's the one where
You're
they
locked up
accused
there.
Trump of saying, "Oh, there are good people on both sides." That's the event.
Life plus.
16.
So I'll say 17.
16, 17 bonuses in fact.
Booyah!
Help you pull yourself out a little bit. And you got the IBM gift.
Yes, so I'm at 3, 3 and 5, 6.
That it?
Is that it?
That's it. I was
3
5 and
6.
3.
Good. I wanted to say that Sonia and I like horror movies, so a new horror movie has come out. It's called Weapons. It's got one of our favorite actresses. We only know her by Ruth. She was the little young lady in Ozark. Have y'all seen Ozark, Jeff?
Oh, yes.
She's a little Ruthie in the Ozark.
Oh.
And she's great in that series. So Weapons, and we had it in our minds that this was a thriller of all thrillers, that it was creepy and scary, and she was the main, it was the dopiest movie. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it was getting 95, 96%. Like, this is going to be great. And it was brutal.
Real quick, we just saw one of the greatest movies of all time with Lindsay Lohan, the Parent Trap.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so then they're having commercials for other things that Lindsay Lohan's been in. And somehow it got into who's the lead in Freaky Friday?
I know who you're talking.
A man or a woman?
Woman.
They're both women.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You would know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know.
She's great. She's great. She's been in a ton of things. So I'm not a horror movie guy, but it's Freaky Friday. Okay, it's not quite so horrible, more funny maybe.
It's more funny than anything, isn't it?
Freaky Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's a kids
comedy.
movie. Yeah, no.
It's a comedy. Yeah, it's not a movie.
And then
It's
there's a Freakier also.
Freaky Friday, the one I watched when I was a kid, and then they just made a remake of it.
Called
yeah,
I think it's Freakier Friday.
it's
Okay.
comedy. But Weapons, I don't waste your time. In terms of Sonia and I, we say the whole movie. Some people did leave in the middle of it, but we say for the whole movie, and it was entertaining on one level. On another level, it's just like, who thinks of this crap? Oh, Sonia gave you the answer.
Jamie
Lee Curtis. Thank you, Sonia.
Sonia is a movie aficionado. She's also Wheel of Fortune aficionado. I'm trying to get her to go on the show.
Sonia, do you like her? Do you
The,
She's
like
a liberal.
Jamie Lee?
the,
She's a
the dude on
liberal.
Wheel of Fortune is no longer the
No,
OG.
Pat Sajak left, and it's now Ryan Seacrest.
Okay.
Oh, don't leave me, Sonia. Do you like her?
Do you like? She'll tell you.
Just bounced off.
All right, while she's doing that, so thank you. That's our show for today. Oh, I got true facts that sound like, you know what? This got to test the boys here. So, Sammy, you may not remember this show, but Tim Allen
Oh yeah.
of Home Improvement.
Oh yeah.
True or false? Actor Tim Allen almost went to prison for life before becoming a famous actor. True or false?
So absurd that I'm going to take
False.
True.
True.
The Home Improvement star was a drug dealer before he became an actor and avoided significant prison time by giving up the names of other dealers. He was a snitch.
He snitched.
Yeah, we saw Halloween. She's in the Halloween
Okay.
movie. Yeah, you know, snitches get
And he
stitches.
lived
Yeah, he lived. He's
after
a
that?
star. Yeah. All right, so there you have it. Thank you for being with us today. You can catch all of our content, which is a lot more than what you get here, on our Substack.com. Search Grit and Good News. $5 a month. You get a lot of content, columns, poems, our shows, other links to other really cool stories across the world. So please join Substack.com, Grit and Good News. We'd love to have you. Thank you for being with us today.
Make it a great day and put a smile on somebody's face today. And believe it or not, and I think you will believe it, I think we put a few smiles out there today.
That was fun.
Have fun.